This is the Big O Show. 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 This is...
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 16 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new 2024 MDX, $469 a month during our 16th anniversary sale.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Take a journey to our Caribbean paradise at Toyota of Hollywood. Get in the groove with great deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a Corolla, not $24,000, just $17,975. You'll be cruising and chilling with super low 2.99% financing. Feel the rhythms of the Caribbean today at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Oh, baby. Yes, sir. Life is good. Life is sweet. It wasn't easy, but you earned it, baby. You earned it. Your Florida Panthers, wherever you live in this beautiful earth, are the world champions. That's right. Hey, listen, there was a lot of drama. It put us at the edge of our seats. We had no idea what the hell was going to happen. But in the end, we got to be happy with the results, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it was one of those where they lost 1 and 2 games in each series. This one, they, I guess, want to lose 3 here and take us to the edge. But it was, God, what a ride. What a ride. And, you know, really, the best part about this is that the ride ended the way it was supposed to end, because they were the better team all year. Better than Edmonton, okay? And they dominated the Eastern Conference playoffs, okay? You got to love what we're watching here tonight. I mean, they came from the abyss after losing the last 3. We're all questioning what the hell is going on. These guys are choking. They're giving it away. Are they going to be the butt of the jokes? You know, and this is something that we've been waiting for. By the way, it completes the entire deal now. South Florida has a World Series, has a Super Bowl champion, has an NBA champion, has an NHL champion, and we'll see if Messi and the boys can make it 5 and give us an MLS championship or an MLS Cup, since maybe this is the year of the Cup, right? We see our Panthers win the Stanley Cup. Maybe we'll see Inter Miami win the MLS Cup. So maybe that's what it is. This is the year of the Cup here in South Florida. But wow, Bob made some saves that at that 7-minute mark when McDavid and Hyman were there, and Montour and Forsling and everybody else. And Bob loses his stick. Like, what the hell, man? we get a power play with a guy that was without a stick, so it was basically 5 on 3.5, and survived, by the way, and by what a clear by Tarasenko, so Bob can get his stick back. I mean, there was drama. They didn't get shots on goal at all. Now, on the flip side, Crapsidle, they limited him. And Connor McDavid in this game was not a factor. So that really came in clutch. I mean, listen, I whipped out the jumping cat. I said, today I'm gonna watch the game and I'm gonna throw back a little bit here because this hat's a little worn. I don't know if you can tell on television, but or screen or whatever it is, because this isn't really television, but you know what I'm saying. So I went back. I said, let me go throwback here, okay? And that's what I did. I went throwback, and that's why we won. I mean, really, it's not really anything that happened on the ice. I went throwback and said, this is how we're going to do it, and this is how we're going to win. No, but as a guy that has covered this team from the beginnings, from the expansion years, and I was a beat guy for the Stanley Cup year back in the mid-90s, and to see how much this team has gone through, ownership that wasn't really good enough, and then to fight, because really between Wayne and Vinny and Doug, you didn't really have the ownership you needed to get you over the top, and so that was a problem. And so once Vinny and Doug took over, the dedication that they showed to this team, to you guys out there, you know what I'm saying? They have now created a place, and by winning the cup now, holy shit, dude. And everything they do is first class, man. I mean, they spent some money for Alanis Morissette to sing the national anthem and the Canadian anthem. That was pretty good. That was a nice coup to get that. I mean, everything that they do is first class, and we've seen what second and third class is. Hell, we watch the Marlins all the time. That's like fifth class. Okay, the Marlins. I mean, the Marlins aren't even good enough for Frontier Air. So, we know what bad is. Now we know what, this is what good is. Okay. By the way, let me get to some of the Cash Apps or Venmos, because then I lose them. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. There you can make a donation and send in your comments, because we get 100% of the donations. The super chats on YouTube are fantastic. We appreciate it, but we only get 70%, so we tell you. But on the super chat, A-Rod, Neil God. Neil is up there somewhere watching and celebrating this Stanley Cup with us. There's no doubt about that. Good memory by you, sir. Man of 1,005 holds, thank you for the love on the super chat. So happy the team played like world champions tonight. That's what I'm talking about. Congrats to the Panthers and the Panther fans. Thank you, man of 1,005 holds. It's a lot of fun, man, to enjoy a championship. And I've got the celebration. I'm watching it at the same time. It's just a really, really cool thing. Andre Blanco, yeah, we won in hockey, big deal. The Dolphins still, whatever, man. I mean, seriously, dude, is that's what you're gonna send on a night like this? Ho Yoon, thank you on Venmo. Appreciate you, sir. I saw yours. Yours came in early already for the Cats championship. Thank you, sir, as always. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Listen, like somebody said, yes, sir.
Connor McDavid got the Conn Smythe award.
Okay. All right. That's interesting that they gave it to the team on the losing squad. Okay. All right. That's fine. He was a badass the last couple of games. There's no doubt about that. And he's the only reason they got really back into it. He's the main reason why. Well, but I mean, he's Connor McDavid. He's the best player on the ice. But tonight, he wasn't the best player on the ice. Tonight, he wasn't the effective player. He won this because of the whole playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So you get, it's not just this series. It's the whole playoffs. So, whatever. That's fine with me. You know what, dude? Hey, listen, they get the cans. We get the cup. Okay, they've got the Oiler babe with the cans. We get the cup. That's fine. They want they won the Conn Smythe. Fine. We got the cup. Doesn't really matter. This is what it's all about. It's about being a champion, dude. So to me, I don't worry about those individual awards. I don't get hung up on that. Bob could have easily gotten that award for the playoff run that he had, overall. And by the way, kudos to the Panthers, because a lot of you, even some, I got some people that told me, let's put in Stolarz. No, man, you stay with Bob, because it wasn't all about Bob. It was also about the guys in front of him. Tonight, congrats, dude. From Listerine to Montour to all these guys, dude, they played their asses off. I saw Barkov take a puck. They all played their asses off in front of Bob, because that's part of having a great defense. It's not just the goalie on his head saving everything in sight. He can't do that all the time, man. They're human beings. These things are coming at you at 100 miles an hour. So you need guys in front of you that are going to disrupt the shots at you or stop the shots. You know what I'm saying? And the Panthers did an awesome job of that, tonight. I mean, if we look at the overall stats for the game, here you go. The Oilers had a total. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Here we go. By the way, that last 20 minutes felt like a 20-minute power play. Think about this, okay? The Oilers, it looked like they got a whole ton of shots. They got 24 shots on Bob, and 23 were saved. So they weren't peppered by 30, 40, 50 shots or something like that. It wasn't one of those nights where Bob has to face 38 shots or 42 shots or some crazy-ass shit where he's going crazy and you're risking it every time out there. You think about it. That's pretty reasonable considering when you've got the lead, as you all know, most of you watch this enough. Once you have a lead, the team that's trailing becomes so desperate that you end up facing more shots. Bobrovsky, by the way, Barkov is carrying the Stanley Cup and now skating around the ring. He's the first guy, which, by the way, it should be Barkov because he's been the guy that's been here forever from the get-go. He's the centerpiece of everything that has grown here from the get-go, overall. It's pretty cool to see. This is a great moment in South Florida sports, man. This is so cool because you're building a culture. There was so much on the line tonight. Paul Maurice was 4-0 in these situations. Now he's 5-0 in these situations. I did not know that. That was a pretty cool stat I saw before the game. By the way, now Barkov handed it off to Bobrovsky. So Bobrovsky now is skating around holding the cup over his head and celebrating like he should. Another guy. Think about this. The collapse and the return of the Panthers in the Stanley Cup, it mirrors the career of Sergei Bobrovsky here with the Florida Panthers because it came in with a lot of hype, and then he went into the abyss, and most players might have stayed into the abyss and stayed into the funk. A 4-string goaltender got the Panthers into the playoffs last year. And maybe the playoff run for him was maybe the thing that lit a fire for him. And then he had a great season this year, and now he's lifting the cup. And that's a really cool thing. And it just mirrors that the Panthers had to respond to all this adversity of losing these 3 straight games. And people doubting them, people saying they're going to be a joke, all that kind of crap. And there you go. And they respond. And Bob, the same way. Bob could have gone right into the tank, dude. And he didn't overall. By the way, the Panthers had 21 shots on Skinner and scored 19 of them. Okay? So crazy stuff overall. But, man, impressive. Impressive overall to see what's gone on with this team. It's pretty cool. And those of you that have lived the, Beezer years and the Ole Jokinen years and, whatever Stephen Weiss years and whatever, any of the different eras, Pavel Bure, everything like that, different ownership groups, the ups and downs. And then when this group took over, how they slowly built it up, where this is the 5th straight year that they've made the playoffs. Right? This ownership took over and they built the core, and then all of a sudden they kept making the playoffs, which is how you kind of build that culture. And now you made the Stanley Cup Finals 2 years in a row, and you won it now. So now you're 1-2. You weren't really ready to win it last year anyway. It's not fair. You know what I'm saying? This year, you had to win it. You had to win it up 3-0. There was no excuse for you to lose it. And listen, you're playing against one of the great players in Connor McDavid, and Crapsidle has had a hell of a year too. So he's a heck of a player. And so they gave you some trouble. There's no doubt about it. But you were the better team. And you had to and the better team finds a way to win the damn game. That's the impressive part. And that's exactly what they did. They found a way to win the damn game. They did anything and everything that they had to do. It was impressive. Abel Rodriguez, thank you for the love on Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. The Panthers are no longer an endangered species, he puts. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you as always. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can get your questions, comments, insults in there. Andro Blanco, thank you for the love in the super chat. Big O, I know this makes you happy. Also to the people of Miami, I hope you guys have a good night knowing the Dolphins. Well, whatever, bro. I mean, you could keep sending super chats and take shots at the Dolphins or whatever. That's all good, my brother. What else do we have here? Now we have a 2-time Super Bowl championship team, a 2-time world championship team in the NBA. Now we need one in the Stanley Cup. Yeah, we do need one. Let's see if they could. They've got the team. They've got the team. They've got the ownership group that'll spend, to the cap, whatever they can squeeze under the cap, they'll do it. And the good thing is, the more you win, hockey guys will actually take a little bit less to go to a place that, they know they're going to win. They're going to be treated right. It's first class. So, you got a great opportunity there for that. Congrats to Doug Sifu. Yeah, Vinny Viola and Doug Sifu deserve an absolute, congratulations. Those guys are as dedicated. You wish the baseball team had half the ownership group had half the dedication of Viola and Sifu. Joe says, I don't follow hockey, but I enjoy the game. Been to some games down at the BB&T, so congrats to the Panthers. Fans, just get me a Dolphins Super Bowl. Congrats, Panthers. You realize how hard it is to – I know. It's incredibly hard to win a Stanley Cup. See Forsling now carrying the cup around. All the players get to skate around with it. It's pretty cool. Nico Mikola. Now skating around with it. Devin Jordan. Thank you for the cash, for the super chat, sir. 2 Super Bowls, 2 World Series, 3 NBA Finals, and now a Stanley Cup. South Florida, one of everything finally. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And an MLS Cup could happen. It could happen, man. I know it doesn't matter to some of you, but would be pretty cool. And we've got a national championship in football and in baseball. So that's pretty cool, too, for the Canes. One-Eyed Jack says, it's so difficult to repeat in hockey. I've watched my Pens do it twice. The Panthers have a great chance to do it. They do. They have a chance. There's no doubt about that. Andre, thank you. Appreciate the super chat. Let's see. Panthers, great organization, well-deserved. Glad to hear Huizinga's name being mentioned by the commissioner for bringing hockey. Yeah, well, Huizinga deserves a lot of credit, and he had a lot more success with the Panthers, unfortunately, than the Dolphins. As much as he loved the Dolphins, it was weird, man, where he had more success with the Marlins and the Panthers than he did with the Dolphins, and he tried everything with the Dolphins. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things, man. You go into a funk, and it takes a while for you to get the hell out of that funk, and we'll see if they'll get out of it soon. But right now, it's the Panthers' time to shine, baby. Definitely. Anthony Kyle Campos, imagine if this was the – yes. Honestly, I don't follow hockey much either, but this I had to follow. Yeah, man. I mean, it's a great moment because you're now you now have a chance to like build something, because now you remember what I was telling you leading up to this. You lose this game, people lose faith in you as an organization. And then it's like, okay, they don't take you like the Dolphins, unfortunately. Even when the Dolphins have any kind of success, people say, okay, they'll screw it up. And that's because it's been happening for 40 years. No matter who the coach is, no matter who the quarterback is, no matter who the defense is, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It just kind of happens. So you end up getting that reputation. Panthers had that reputation for years as an organization that wasn't getting it done. And then all of a sudden, here comes Vinny Viola and Doug Sifu, and they've done everything like the Heat have done it, where they've been committed and they've built it and built it and built it. And they had to succeed because this was what breaks the glass ceiling. This is the one that you're a champion now. Now you get to raise the banner. Now you have the parade. Now you sell all the merchandise. Now people get even more excited for next season. Now the culture really grows. Because South Florida loves entertainment, loves a winner, loves an ownership group that is committed to winning. And if you end up being a champion, boy, they really go overboard for you. So now that's the most important part about this win for the future of the team. Losing this game was not an alternative. You could not lose this game. There was no chance. You had to win this game because there was everything on the line. Everything for the coach, everything for the front office, everything for the players, everything for the ownership, everything for the culture. Now, that fan base becomes stronger and stronger now every year. Now you're going to have people interested in their free agency. You're going to have them. Nobody knows one player in the hockey draft, but now they're going to go, hey, what did our Panthers get? Who's the kid? Oh, okay. And they'll just ask. When before they wouldn't give a shit. So they're now going to be interested in things that they were never interested in when it comes to the Panthers. You know? So it's pretty cool, man. It's actually very cool. You know? Okay. Hold on a second. Anyway, what else do we have here? Steven D. Felipes, thank you, sir. Bob deserved the MVP. Giving it to McDavid was complete BS. Well, you know, I guess that last stretch, the 15 goals in the 3 games, was a stain that he could not overcome. And then Connor's entire stretch throughout all the rounds and into the finals. Especially the 3 games here. By the way, it's what's it called? Paul now has got the trophy, which is really, really cool. Really, really cool. Let's see. What do we got here? Stephen M. Thank you, sir, for a little Bitcoin action. Thank you. Appreciate it, especially in a dip. That is strong on your part. Thank you. And you put thanks for the post-game shows. Appreciate it. Man, listen, we got to do these things. You know, this is what this platform is all about, right? You look at everything back there, and it's all about all the local teams. That's what I've been my entire life. I'm born and raised in South Florida, and I've always been about all the local teams. You know what I'm saying? And this platform, when we started it, it was going to be about all these local teams. You know what I'm saying? And we got a chance to watch our team win the Stanley Cup. We need a place where we can gather and talk about it and celebrate and enjoy this moment, man, because this is a really cool moment. This is a moment that Edmonton was dying to have right now. You know, they had success years ago, decades ago. So generations have turned over, and they would like to have Mrs. Cans. She didn't live through that, generation of Edmonton. Well, she wanted to live through it now. Mrs. Cans doesn't get. Now you will be able to live through it because she did get a deal with Playboy. So there you go. But you know what I'm saying? Lots of fan bases around the NHL. By the way, Canada doesn't get to celebrate anymore Stanley Cups. Toronto doesn't win one, or Edmonton doesn't win. I mean, you know, they're like, you know, they're crap out of luck there with it. So appreciate it, because for you to have a team that just want to stand and listen, let me tell you something. We look at it like a 30-year thing, 30-something years, because of you're looking from the inception of the team till now. But really, Sean, can you look it up for me? What year did Viola and Sifu take over? I want to say this is maybe year 9. I want to say 8 or 9, something like that. So think about that. I know you're thinking about the 30 years, 30-something years, whatever it is since, what is it? It's like 36 years or whatever it is, right? Since they started. You're thinking about that whole time, but really, it's since Viola and Sifu took over. That's when this franchise was resurrected. This is when the franchise was truly born to be winners, to be competent, to be respectful, all that stuff. You know, we've watched the Marlins change ownership groups and not carry themselves the right way, even ruin the logo at times. I'll tell you something. I wore this one tonight also. The new logo, they did a phenomenal job with it. It's a super classy and this is still my favorite logo, but I love the new logo. It's super classy. Super classy, dude. I love the new logo. They did a great job. Everything they do is first class. What they built at War Memorial for their practice facility, first class. Really, the franchise was born when those guys took over. We had a franchise that was hanging around, but it wasn't. It was kind of a rudderless ship. Yes, sir.
Looks like it was 2013. They announced the sale to Sifu and Viola 2013.
Wow, so they announced the sale. So let's say it's at least 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so 10 years now. So in their 10th anniversary or something like that, they end up winning the championship. That's how long it took for them to, remember, this is new to them, to figure out the business, figure out what they had, build the culture, keep the players, keep the good players, okay? Because if you're not willing to spend the money, you're not going to get anywhere. And all of this has paid off just beautifully. It's all come together, man. You know, Matt Caldwell is an absolutely fantastic president. You got two great owners. You got Bill Zito, who's an ass-kicking GM and just has a great feel for what needs to get done. It's just impressive, dude, overall. It really is impressive overall. I'm looking at some of the videos that are being posted for the Panthers. And by the way, the celebrations are out in the street already. I see Channel 7 has got some celebrations going on right now. So there you go. See, the streets are already pumping. You got folks honking. So the pots and pans. Hockey has never had pots and pans. Hockey will now have its share of pots and pans right now, which is a beautiful thing. We'll try to see if we get any of the press conferences for you, get any of the sound bites from the locker room, any of that kind of stuff. If we can get any of that stuff overall for you guys, we will definitely pass it on. But man, what a moment. What an absolute moment. You know, just a moment where you get to watch Paul Maurice handle, this is what this man lives for. And to have that's pretty cool, man. That's a pretty cool moment right there for the coach. He's worked for this. He's never been able to lift a Stanley Cup, and Paul Maurice is getting to lift a Stanley Cup, man. That is just absolutely incredible. Good for him. Good for all of you that have lived through all of these wacky ass years that we've gone through in hockey. Now you have a competent team, a competent ownership group, and now you have a team that isn't even flukish, by the way. This isn't a flukish thing. See, in 96, happy to be there. The Heat, these 2 years with Jimmy, flukish, dude. You got there in the bubble, flukish. They really had a chance to win, although if Bam and Dragon stay healthy, they had a chance. But it was flukish. You were in the bubble, short season, you took advantage, yada, yada, you got there. And then last year, you had Embiid injured, and you didn't deal with Giannis. breaks. You got there again, all that. You didn't have the breaks this year. Plus, you got injuries. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of happy to be there. You overachieved, all that kind of stuff. When you got there last year, you didn't even belong on the same court with Denver, right? This Panther team, this is the real deal, dude. This isn't that we're lucky to be here. No, this is they belong here. And it's, hey, these guys have a legitimate shot at actually winning. That's some scary shit, man. Like they can win again. Big O's, where's the victory cigar? Sean, give them the victory cigar. It's a good point by you, Devin. Thank you for the love on the super chat, my brother. I appreciate that. And also another super chat. Where's the parade going to be? Sawgrass Mills or Las Olas? I've said it starts in Las Olas. You come on boats down the river. You get on the trucks and all that right there in Las Olas. You pull out, you go up US 1, and you end at War Memorial at their practice facility, and you have a celebration there. That's what I think you do. I mean, you can do one in Sawgrass, but like it's kind of lame, you know? I don't know. It doesn't give it a real street feel, you know? Down US 1 Fort Lauderdale from Broward Boulevard to Sunrise, that's a real deal parade there. You know what I'm saying? In the streets where, you know, and closer to the east where people meet. So, I don't know. What do you got for me?
Got a little bit of the sound from the ice.
What do you got? Let's shoot it.
All right. First up will be the head coach, Paul Maurice.
You always make time for media. It's okay. It's okay. You look like you said something to him. What'd you say?
Oh, no. I've been chasing that for a while. It was unkind words about how hard she was to catch.
What makes this team special?
I got off the phone with him the summer I took the job, and I kept telling my wife, these guys are different. It's the way they treat each other. They love each other. It starts with Barkov, and it filters down. So we have 9 new guys on this year, and then we brought in Okposo and Tarasenko, and you can't tell they haven't been here 10 years. It's got nothing to do with the coach, nothing to do with that. That room has been special since day one.
What stands out about the way that you guys won this trophy?
It was perfect Florida Panther fashion. Nothing's easy. Nothing's easy for us. It wasn't easy last year. They did everything they could to win that. And the people that were there, Radko Gudas, Eric and Mark Stahl, all of those guys that were a part of it, they're a part of this too, right? They're a part of that. But there's nothing easy, so we needed to lose 3 in the finals to learn how to win 4. And the fact that it was so hard makes it so special.
Congratulations, Paul. Thank you.
Thanks, Emily. Thank you.
Let me tell you something. The guy that deserves the credit is Bill Zito, because you've got to know when you add a free agent, does he fit? And whether it's Radko Gudas or anybody else that he added this year, okay, they all end up fitting. Oh, we'll get Tarasenko and somehow he'll fit. And Tarasenko plays all 3 levels and everything. He's fantastic. It's amazing. You find Stolarz. Like, what the hell, dude? You know, it goes on and on and on and on. You know, the Reinhardt, it's amazing to me how he's able to find all these guys. Montour is going to be wanted by everybody in free agency. It's crazy, dude. He just knows how to add players left and right. Zito is really the most unsung hero of the Florida Panthers. And Matt Caldwell and ownership deserve all the credit, because somehow or another, when you fired Dale Talon, you had to hire the right guy. And holy shit, did they hit it out of the park with Bill Zito. So Matt Caldwell must have done his homework, must have, you know, he knows his shit, But he must have done some real strong homework there, and along with ownership group, that they said, okay, Bill Zito is the guy. And Bill Zito has been the architect of all of this, dude. All of this. It's amazing, dude. It's ridiculous what that guy has done here. By the way, the Forsling contract, he's got Forsling under like an 87-year deal, and none of us are going to live 87 years. And yet Forsling is under no, seriously, it's like an 8-year contract. It's like, forget it. Forsling will never see the light of day. He's done. You know what I'm saying? And for the money that they're paying him, like, Bill Zito, dude, what? You're just out of control. So, Panther fans, celebrate your championship. Love the players. Love the coach. Great sound bites. Cool dude. Winner. Culture builder. All that kind of stuff. But don't forget about Bill Zito, because that sumbitch is special, bro. Absolutely special. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, and you can send in a Bitcoin donation, which we love that. Mace Taggart, thank you for the love. Congratulations, Big O. You deserve it. Ty in the Bronx. Wow, Ty in the Bronx. There you go. You know how much I remember you, Ty in the Bronx? Your boy Jordan Love. Could this become a dynasty? Let's, Green Lion, let's try to first win the second one. Okay? Because you got to get to 3 to start talking dynasty. So let's see if they can even get to the second one and win it before we're talking about dynasty. But they've got the talent, and they've got Bill Zito. And you've got ownership that'll spend. So that's not going to be a thing. By the way, let's talk about something else that happened tonight. Something really big happened tonight for the Panthers, the fan base, ownership, all of that. The Sergei Bobrovsky move finally paid off. After all these years, after a lot of downs, not a lot of ups, last year's run in the playoffs, he helped out, obviously. After they got in, he got on a roll. But really, this year and throughout the playoffs, I know he had a tough 3-game stretch, but the people in front of him, he wasn't at his best, and they were facing Connor McDavid and others. So let's give them some credit too. But overall, it's kind of, you made that move when you signed Bob and you gave him that big ass contract because you were going after a cup as ownership. Well, you got the cup. You got the cup. So at least when you talk about that contract, it's not going to be a contract that it became an albatross and it was just an albatross for the rest of its existence. And it was a terrible signing and, whatever. And we can name thousands of players for every professional team in the history of mankind that has signed a free agent that completely flopped and never got on track. And it was a disaster that you will talk till the end of time. Correct? Right? That's what this could have been. And this entire season and this playoff run and now finishing it off tonight ends up justifying it for the ownership group, for everybody else. They got their cup, dude. And Bob was an incredibly important part of winning it all. He was fantastic this year. Don't let those 3 games cloud how good Bob was this year. He was Vezina Trophy good. Okay? He was good, dude. And in the playoffs, he had some moments that we'll remember forever. That wacky one where he, backside save, that shit that'll live on in infamy. So the Bob signing was just justified. I'll go to Cash App or Venmo in a minute. By the way, let me go to Instagram here. Maximus says, can the team come back next year? I have no clue about the NHL salary cap. Yes, most of the guys will come back next year, Maximus. Most of them. You got to pay Reinhardt, and they probably will. And by the way, Verhaeghe and Reinhardt, You needed your guns to show up because they weren't having a good stretch here, and they showed up tonight too. Congratulations to them. Okay. And thanks to everybody tuning in on Instagram. I don't see a lot of comments there. Maximus is the only one that's going crazy with comments, but thank you all out there watching on Instagram. We really appreciate it. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And let me see here. I think Carlos, thank you, my brother, on Cash App for Luongo banging the drum. Huge W, go Cats. Did you see that? Okay. You know, Carlos, did it have anything to do with the win? No. Not at all. Did it have everything to do with the mood? Yes. Luongo almost broke that fucking drum. Sorry for the French. But he banged it with passion. You need passion, dude. You got to have passion to be up at 11:40 at night to do a post-game show. The hell, am I going to just come out here and be monotone? Hell no. I'm going to have passion. I'm going to be pumped up about this. I'm going to be emotional about this because this is a great time. And Jack Nicklaus is a god. We all worship Jack, dude. He's one of the greatest golfers, if not the greatest golfer of all time, whatever. We get it. But it was ridiculous to have the old man tap the drum. That doesn't set the mood. Luongo set that mood. Congratulations to the Panthers. Had nothing to do with the game. Had everything to do with the atmosphere. Because the old man, it was like watching Bitcoin dump to 59,000, basically. That's what it was. You know, just like tonight, Panther fans feel like Julian Assange getting out of jail. We were kind of in jail the last 3 games. We're in some emotional jail. So, Carlos, thank you, my brother. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Rob, thank you, my man. Thank you for the Bitcoin. I appreciate you immensely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cash App or Venmo, nothing like a Bitcoin donation. I appreciate you, sir. I think we sent out an order of yours today, by the way. Rob, I think you ordered something. We sent yours out today. In fact, you have the tracking order and everything. I think I sent you the tracking order. I think the wife mailed out your order, and thank you, sir. Not only did you send in Bitcoin, but you purchased. And by the way, visit our merchandise shop. Sean, please pull up the billboard there. You can visit our merchandise shop. We got all kinds of shirts and hats, Big O Show hats, Bitcoin Big O Show hats, all kinds of shirts. So check it out on our what's it called? On our merchandise shop there, and visit it, please. Or the link is on YouTube. The link is on our Instagram page. I post it on Twitter at times, but there you go. BigORadioshow.myshopify.com. Great way to support our program. Let's see. NHL stroking that McDavid. He's a hell of a player, bro. He's a hell of a player, and he had a great playoff. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of get it. You know, I totally understand it. The kid is absolutely special. So I understand that. It's not like I would have liked to have given it to Bob because the team won. And Bob, I think it's unfair to look at Bob and judge him for 3 games where he wasn't great. I'm not going to defend him, but I'm not going to defend what was in front of him. Those guys were completely out of sync. They couldn't pass the puck. There was no chemistry. It was a mess, guys. It was a mess. They were getting breakaway after breakaway. I mean, the score was on a breakaway. The only score tonight was on a what? On a breakaway. And they were like 5 of 5 or something like that in their last breakaway. When I remember the guy saying the stat, which was, crazy. You got to play better defense than that. Got to play better defense than that. and they weren't playing in front of him. So I would like Bob personally to win it. But I get it. Connor McDavid is a treasure for the league. You know what I'm saying? And you saw it, ladies and gentlemen. He was a pain in the butt for the Panthers for a stretch here. He was threatening us, not enjoying this moment here that we all have earned, you know, especially those of us that have been with the Panthers for a long, long time from the get-go. And I'm a day one guy with the Panthers, you know, and this was a moment that we've all been waiting for a long, long time. Man, I was a kid. It's kind of like the Dolphins now, you know, because I was a kid when the Dolphins won, 7 and 8 years old when they won the 2 Super Bowls. Like, what I remember is, you know, it's crap. You know, I want to live it. I want to really live it before I check out. You know what I'm saying? And I am so happy to be able to experience a Stanley Cup and a team that deserves it and everything that is so on the line right now, man. There was so much on the line. I'm so excited about what's coming up now. Yeah, because now there's going to be more buzz about the Panthers than ever before. We're going to see Panther gear all over the place. We're going to see Panther gear start in other, which we were already seeing it in other arenas across both countries. You're going to start seeing them. The more you win, as you all know, they start getting. And so you've been to the Stanley Cup 2 years in a row. NHL fans all over are watching Panthers in the Stanley Cup 2 years in a row, and now you won. So now you're not just, you know, a bridesmaid, okay? Now you're at another level. So that's pretty cool. Miami to Manhattan on Instagram. As a Panther fan on vacation in Montreal, I got to say, the fans here were very gracious. Vamos, Los Gatos. Congratulate. Bro, Canadians are good people, dude, overall. Just because Trudeau sucks doesn't mean that Canadians aren't good people, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got a clown that's screwing up the country, but Canadians overall are good people. That place is expensive. You're there, Miami to Manhattan. Now you're in Canada. You compare it to, I know we have inflation, but check them out now, huh? I went there to go see Metallica in Montreal, and I also went to Quebec. And holy crap, that place is expensive. You think it's expensive here in the United States? They got it rough over there, dude. So Canadians are good people overall, man. Really good people. Chuck Cooper, Big O, we were too little to really enjoy the Dolphins' early 70s success. Damn, it's been 50 years. I'm hungry. Well, I think we've got the right people in place, and hopefully that'll happen. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. All local channels are covering the celebration. None of the Spanish channels are. Ridiculous. I mean, you know, what are they going to do, bro? Their audience isn't going to. The audience that likes the Panthers that are Hispanic, they're not pure Hispanic. They're like me. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm born and raised here, so technically I am American, but Cuban parents and all that. You have the Americanized Hispanics. So the Americanized Hispanics, they're not watching fucking Univision or Telemundo, bro. Why would they waste their time watching that? They can't cover that. There's a language barrier. They can't do it. So it's useless. And people like us are never going to watch Telemundo and Univision for any of that. We're going to watch the local channels is what we're going to watch because they can relate to us. They can identify with us, all of that. They have a history with us. Like I have a history that I've covered all of the Panthers' existence. You know what I'm saying? So I've been in locker rooms all the way from the get-go. They can't relate like that on Spanish television. Plus, they have the language barrier. So don't blame it on them. It doesn't translate for them. There's no reason for it. Rodriguez doesn't really speak Spanish. All right, let's see. We did it. South Florida, mi gente. Florida Panthers fought and didn't quit. A team and a family. Yes, sir. You are correct, Luis. Jim Hall, Ron Hextall won the Conn Smythe in a losing effort against Gretzky and Messi's Oilers. Yes. Yes. Yes, sir. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Let's see. Yeah, no, we already put out some video of people banging pots and pans already. They're already doing it. Again, those aren't like the old Cuban people that are playing dominoes on 8th Street, bro. That's not the people. It's younger and, people that are a little hipper. You know what I'm saying? People that are bilingual. So they'll be the ones they'll be hitting the pots and pans overall. David says, skating with the Raiders Cup around your home ice arena, every player, coach, training staff member gets their moment to hoist it. Yes. Yeah. It's a cool moment, man. It's just this is an absolutely awesome moment for all of us as South Florida fans. And, the beauty is some of us have lived all 4 teams winning Super Bowl championships. Like, I was a child, but okay, I saw the Dolphins win it. I've watched the Marlins win it. I've watched the Heat win it, and now I've watched the Panthers win it. And I'm hoping that Messi and Inter Miami, have a chance at getting it done this year, which would really spoil the hell out of all of us. Because there aren't a lot of cities that can say, okay, all 5 major teams, they've got not all the cities can say they've got championships in all 4 sports. I mean, think about that. We're lucky as hell, man. This is a really, really cool thing. And, here's the other thing. Oh, my God. I won 850 plus. I forgot my bet. I had the Panthers plus 850. Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. Let me go to my Hard Rock account. Holy shit. And there's a massive Bitcoin dip. I mean, the Panthers win a championship. I just realized I got some bank here. Panthers plus 850. I bet it several months ago that they would win the Stanley Cup. I just realized that I'm buying a chunk of Bitcoin today. Woo! And mighty cheap too. Oh man, that is fantastic. I got to tell you, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Let's see. What do we have here on the chat board? Manny J. Snow, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. It's always nice when you win a bet, man. And I took this before the playoffs months ago, like February. Okay, so I said plus 850. I like the way my Panthers are playing. They can win the Stanley Cup. Bam. How about that? Wow. Oh, shit, man. I forgot all about my bet. I've been just thinking about winning as a fan. And now, this adds even more joy for my evening. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Radio Chaos. Thank you, sir. Congratulations from Vancouver on your cup win. Thank you. I'm dying to visit Vancouver. All I hear is that place is beautiful. I don't know, man. But, and for skiing, I'm told Vancouver is amazing. So one day. George, thank you, sir. Thank you for the congratulations on the bet. That's, get a little Bitcoin for the daughter's future. So that's, Bitcoin's for my daughter. So that's where it goes. Let's see. Great win for the Panthers. Good night, Big O. Yes, there's no doubt. It's a beautiful night, my brother. Giovanni, happy birthday to you. That's right. Your birthday is today. We talked about it this morning on the show, and you wanted one thing for your birthday, and you got it, my brother. You got it. Lenny says, excuse my ignorance, but I had no idea hockey was such an exciting sport to watch. Wow, what a game. Congrats to the Panthers. Lenny, my brother, you're only feeling What do you say there, hockey fans? I'm going to say 50, 60% of the feeling. You need to go live. Okay? When you go to a hockey game live, it's the greatest sport live. Football, baseball, basketball, soccer, all made for television. All made for television. Hockey is the ultimate live sport. Okay? That's my challenge to you, sir. All right, Lenny? That's my challenge to you. You need to go to a game live. And if you can really treat yourself and sit in the lower bowl anywhere, oh shit. It just goes to another level. So any of us, those of us that are hockey fans, they're all nodding their head like, yeah, he knows exactly what he's talking about. Because anybody knows hockey knows and loves all the sports like I do. Hockey is the best live sport, and the best playoffs are hockey. And I'm a football guy, but hockey is their playoffs are sick. It's ridiculous. And they go all out and they sell out their bodies, unlike in the NBA that they're a bunch of wusses, So yeah, it's what goes on in hockey is impressive. The next thing you need to do is go live. You go live and you're going to remember me forever because you will become a much bigger hockey fan once you go live, my friends. The Stars have a line for you, Big O. Congratulations. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The daughter wins. The daughter wins big. Big O, you should have taken Sean Stanley Cup out for a steak with all those winnings. I love Sean Stanley to death. Okay. But I got this is a build for my daughter's future more than anything else, my brother. So that there's nothing that goes over that. You know what I'm saying? So my Bitcoin stash has always been for my kid. That's kind of the way I look at it. Let's see. Doc E is in the house. We actually did it. Yes, sir. Adolfo, what's happening, my man? Let's see. Great moment. My 10-year-old son just stormed into my bedroom and said, "Dad, we won." Sad and gave me a bear hug. I was too big of a wussy to watch the game. That's funny. You were afraid to watch and suffer, huh? No, man. You gotta go out there and gotta go out on a limb. It's your team, my brother. You gotta sell out completely. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to take the challenge. Big O, my parents live in Sunrise, so I will definitely catch a few games next season. And tell me after you go to a game. Tell me after that. You'll see. You're going to be hooked. Hooked. There's nothing like a live hockey game, dude. Rosendo says hockey is the best, but you have to be careful with the puck if you sit in the lower bowl. Yeah, like baseball. Rosendo, if you go to baseball game, if you go to a hockey a game, don't go eating crap. Understand, you're sitting between the baselines and all that in baseball. You got to be aware on every pitch. You want to talk in between pitches, you can go ahead and talk in between pitches, but you just can't never go look down at your phone the entire time you're asking for trouble. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's part of the game. Green Lion is in the house. Orlando is right. Go in person. No better sport. It is what it is. Kazuma says, sorry, Big O. Have to disagree. Soccer, best live sport. It's another level. Tough hockey, close second. Well, we'll disagree on that. I've seen tons of soccer, and you have to have seats that give you the perfect sight lines, because if you're not watching and you can't see the inside line on one side or the other at times, live it's tough, bro. But hockey is a sweet monster, bro. Live, I would probably go with hockey as my favorite live sport overall. But anyway, Hockey is like a mix of all sports in one together. That's how fun hockey is. That's Juan Rosa. Alex in New York, if you look close enough, that high horse the Dolphins think they're on is actually a donkey. All right. Oh, I'm very superstitious. I don't watch my teams play. I think it's bad luck. Thank goodness we won. What a relief. Yeah, but Troy, you live kind of a negative existence. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen you on this thing long enough. You kind of have already a negative tone about you overall. So you're the glass is quarter, not even half. You're the glass is quarter full right now. And I think it's got a leak. You know, that kind of shit. I still can't believe they won, says Ariel, but the dream has become a reality. I'm too happy to go to sleep. Good for you, bro. Why should you go to sleep? Enjoy yourself. Big O, spark up that victory cigar. Sean, give him another victory cigar. Fire away. That's it, bro. That's how you do it. Can't believe it. I forgot about my bet. What an idiot I am. Tony Zagales with a Bitcoin donation. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And Tony Zagales says, top of the world. Congrats to the Panthers. Thank you. You can send in your question, comments, compliments, insults, all that. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. And Corey Stanton on Cash App. Thank you, sir. You called it today. This is for you, champs, baby. I didn't get the score, but I said they would win. Because it just, my problem with all of this was this season has to end this way. It couldn't end. I'm sorry. This wasn't flukish. This was a real team. This is a real culture that's being built. I just, no way you were going to take that moment from the Panthers. And I just felt like, okay, they had their funk. They went in it. Remember, a couple of months back, right before the playoffs, I want to say it was maybe about a month and a half or 2 months before the end of the regular season, there was this little funk that they went into. And they weren't playing well, and they gave up some games. Bob didn't play well. It's kind of questionable. And hell, I remember at one point in the show, I was like, man, you know, are we getting to the point where you got to start thinking about Stellaris or something, which is kind of crazy because, you know, but it was like a little stretch, and then they got out of it. And they have bounced back from losing the cup last year. They have bounced back from different adversities, like I told you a couple of months back. And then you saw it here where they were coasting. They were dominating every round, and then they were dominating the Stanley Cup. And maybe they got a little big on themselves. They let up a little bit, and kudos to Edmonton. They jumped all over it. They were desperate. They needed it. They didn't want to go out. They didn't want to get completely punked. Now they lost, but at least it's kind of respectable when they go back to Edmonton because they were down 3-0 and they made it to a seventh game. So they kind of cleared themselves a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But the Panthers might have let up, and they still found a way to overcome that. And then throughout the game, you know, Bob loses a stick. We've got a power play with 3.5 men because one of the guys doesn't have a stick. The shit that was going on that you had to overcome. Oh, the bullshit power play they gave up early in the game, that it was a bad call against the Panthers. That was another one that went against the Panthers. I forgot what the call was. Oh, the tripping on Kachuk. What the hell was that, dude? The poor guy fell. He wasn't trying to trip anybody. That was some bogus. That could cost the Panthers. All those things could have cost the Panthers. Bob losing his stick. He's on his ass. They're all over the place. The announcer's like, Bob is still on the floor, you know, on the ice, whatever. All that. I mean, it was just, there was shit going on over and over and over again that they had to overcome. And if you look at their entire season, the Panthers did that constantly. And they had injuries too, by the way. Different guys got injured. Even Barkov missed some time, and you had to overcome all those kind of things. It was just, it's just an awesome story, man. It really is a fantastic story. You know, it's a blessing. Noah on Instagram, all of those times I was ridiculed for supporting the Panthers while at 640 and now vindicated. Yes, sir. I remember, Noah. I remember, my brother. Let's see. Maximus says, as hard as you guys work, as much as you guys love all South Florida sports, I'm happy to see not only the Panthers win, but you're happy. A man who loves his daughter as much as I love mine is all right in my book. Well, I mean, my daughter's everything, bro. You know, my daughter, my wife, you know, that's the center of my universe. You know what I'm saying? And the beauty too, by the way, the guy I work with every day, who's just an absolute gem of a human being, Sean Stanley, is like me. He's old school like me, work ethic like me, but he's also an all South Florida sports fan like me. You know, because some of you are watching, you might be a Panther fan, but you're a Knicks fan or something. You know what I mean? You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. You might be living somewhere else, and, you know, whatever. You live in Chicago, and you happen to be a Bears fan, and you happen to be a Panthers fan. Whatever, you know, it's a free world, bro. You know, you can love whatever you love. I know we got people watching all over the world right now, enjoying something from South Florida, you know, winning. It's just a great feeling, man. It really is a great feeling to see. So thank you, Josh V. Thank you for the love on Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And he says for Cats, for Go Cats Go, good thing Luongo beating that drum. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That was a must, right? To get Luongo to bang that drum. That was, at least they got it right. Whereas they screwed it up before, this time they ended up getting it right. So kudos to them, you know, overall. That's some good stuff, man. That is absolutely amazing to get that done. All right, what else do we have here? Adam Pinkser, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Oh, this is surreal. What a freaking performance by Bob. So amazing to see the transformation of the Panthers into a champion. So grateful. See, Adam's one of those guys who loves all the local teams, but he lives in Indianapolis. I know because I met with Adam when I went one of my trips to the Combine, and Adam's a big South Florida guy. Adam, thank you as always for the support. And it is just absolutely amazing to have our Panthers win it all. I'm seeing pictures showing videos of the fans. Alexis Palenzuela, thank you for the love on Venmo, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. NHL, NBA, NCAA baseball, football. All we need now is Inter Miami. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, it would be nice to have Larinaga win it all. And now he can do it in this kind of basketball with NIL and the way he does things. He'll have a chance, hopefully, before he retires. But it is impressive what Larinaga has done. But can you imagine if you can win a national title also in college basketball? Because the U's done it in football and baseball, like you mentioned. If they can do it in basketball, that would be amazing. And if we can get one in the MLS this year, that would be sensational. That would be crazy right there. Let's see. Chad says, just so proud to be from South Florida and so lucky to see the Marlins, Heat, Canes, and now the Panthers. Need Dolphins to make it happen. Hopefully, man. Brett says, Big O, I'm proud to be the one of the very few Canadians who cheered for the Panthers in this series. So glad Cats got the job done. Yeah, I would imagine a lot of people in Canada are disappointed because they probably at least root for a Canadian team over a North America or over a American team. Let's see. What else do we have here? Big O, do you think McDavid should have won the Conn Smythe, bro? I don't mind. I get it. It's for the whole playoff run, and the guy had an amazing playoff run. I don't have a problem with that. The Panthers got the Stanley Cup, like I said before. Dude, they can have the Oilers chick with the great cans. That's fantastic, and she'll be on the Playboy and all that good stuff. By the way, Playboy's smart. Playboy signs the Oilers babe. Okay, those of you that don't know, just like the Hawk Tua chick, same thing. The Oilers woman that flashed in the middle of the game, and obviously, and kudos to her. She had whoever did her surgery did great work because she has an excellent pair. So, listen, I know she got a lot of crap from it, but flashing boobs is like guys flashing their butts, mooning. Bro, that's an American pastime. Let's not be so touchy in this. We're so damn touchy. But you know what? They have her. They get her. They get the girl with the cans. We get the cup. That's all, bro. Fine. They can have the Conn Smythe. They can have the cans. Good for them. They got something to stand on. But I'd rather have the cup. It doesn't bother me that they didn't win the Conn Smythe. I don't care. I care about the championship. I care that you guys get to go to the arena and see the banner be lifted, and it'll be on all the television channels. I care that you guys get to go to the parade. I care that Panther fans and season ticket holders and people have been waiting for this for years, and all the disappointment that we went through for years. My God. The years that when they would just make the playoffs, it was just to get embarrassed and get sent home because it was a team that was just happy to be there, just to show up after all this stuff that we've been through over the years. This is just a godsend, dude. This is heaven by many, 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 many levels. Manny J. Snow, thank you, sir. I've seen my favorite teams win except for the Dolphins. I just need to see them win, man. Then I can go to the pearly gates. I'm with you. And he also says, again, thank you, another super chat. I just can't imagine the feeling if my Dolphins win the championship, Big O. Me neither. I would lose my shit. There's no doubt about that. And Manny J. Snow with a third straight super chat. Thank you, brother. That's crazy. I want to feel this way about my Dolphins winning the championship, Big O. You will, my brother. I think we've got the right people in place. Big O, Conn Smythe was a consolation prize so they wouldn't burn down Edmonton like Vancouver back in 2011 to help McDavid's legacy in KC. Now, but you know what? He deserves it. It's fine. It's fine. Dude, he had a great playoff run, and then he brought his team back from the abyss. I don't have a problem with it, dude. I'm not losing sleep at all over it whatsoever. It's like you said, like you just called it right now, my brother, a consolation prize. That is beautiful. You worded it perfectly. That's the adjective you need to describe it with. It's bullshit. It's a consolation prize. It's an individual accomplishment. It doesn't mean jack crap. This happens with the Dolphins at times. People get this individual award, and I'm like, bro, I don't give a shit about that. I want the team to win playoff games and win a Super Bowl. I need team accomplishments. I don't care about individual accomplishments. Well, maybe they could get a receiving title or a rushing title or a passing title or I don't care about that, bro. Oh, maybe McDaniel wins rookie coach of the year or coach. I don't give a shit. Did you win in the playoffs? Did you win a Super Bowl? Did you win the Stanley Cup? What, you won the Conn Smythe and you won the Vezina and you didn't win the cup? Who cares? Who gives a shit? Doesn't mean anything to me. So I to me, everything worked out beautifully. Still, Bob should have had it, says Vamos Gatos. That is so funny, man. You guys are a trip. Green Lion says, Orlando, I was wearing Panther gear in New York City about 10 years ago, and some guy said, I've never heard of a Panthers fan. Fuck that guy. Paul Maurice, yes, he has moved up to number 2 on the coaches' rankings. Yes. When I put out the new rankings for South Florida sports, he is knocking out Jim Larinaga, who owned the number 2 spot. Nobody knocks off Spo. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Spo is number 1 by miles and 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 miles. Did I tell you Spo was ahead of by everybody by miles? I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but he's ahead by miles and miles and miles and miles, just so you'll know. But number 2 was Jim Larinaga. But tonight, Paul Maurice was number 3. Paul Maurice jumps Jim Larinaga in the coaches' rankings, in the Big O radio show coaches' rankings in South Florida. He is now number 2 with that championship. That's pretty damn impressive, and good memory by you guys bringing that up. That we've got that. We've got to update that. Jim Hall says the NFL needs to have MVPs of the championship game in the AFC MVP trophy. Yeah. Let's see. Us fans know the consolation prize. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh man. Oh, by the way, let me give you guys a review overall of the stats today in a 2-1 game. In a beautiful 2-1 game where your Florida Panthers are the world champions, which is just an absolutely sick thought. Still have, it's amazing. The Panthers are the world champions. That is just absolutely sick. By the way, Janmark was the only one that scored a goal for the Oilers, which was that breakaway. For the Panthers, Lundell had an assist. Reinhardt had a goal. Rodriguez had an assist. Verhaeghe had a goal and an assist. And Kulikov also had an assist. Bobrovsky had 23 saves on the night. And what's it called? Skinner, by the way, had 19 saves on the night. Amazing run for the Florida Panthers as they win their first cup. And the question is, who comes back next year? We'll get into all of that. Reinhardt and company. Well, you know, what are they going to pay Reinhardt? Because obviously he picked up 54 goals, something like that. So we'll see what ends up happening with Reinhardt. You got anything else there, Sean, that you've run into? Shay on air. Much love, Shay. Congratulations to the Cats. Amazing win and very deserving. Yes, and nice to see you and hear from you, Shay. Absolutely fantastic person. Let's see, what else do we have? Jukebox Pete, let's go. World champions. He's loving it. Thank you all on Instagram. There we go. Appreciate all of you. Pantherland. Thank you, sir, out there. Appreciate all of you out there tuning in, man. It's just to think about where they started. And I remember covering this team back in the mid-90s, back when they would practice at Pompano Ice. And it was, an old ice hockey rink. And there were 300 fans hanging out outside. And the buzz that those Panthers created back in those days, they're going to be able to create that buzz now. Because they've already, brought a lot of attention to themselves. Now that you've won a championship, you now become official. Now, these people have mirrored the Heat. They have mirrored the Heat. They got the right leadership, and then that leadership has translated to winning and then to a winning culture where you now have gone 5 straight years to the playoffs. Now you've gone 2 straight years to the Stanley Cup Finals. And it wasn't like you were just happy to be there and all that kind of shit. No, you were worthy of it and you ended up winning. Now you got the validity that the Heat was looking for years when finally Harrison took over and they got Riley, and then they got respected. You know, people actually respected them because Riley got here, and immediately they started winning. And then finally they got that championship in 2006, and then the rest is history. Once you get that stamp, boom, your franchise goes to another level. And that's why the Heat are not just one of the best franchises in the NBA, they're one of the best franchises, period, in all of pro sports because of what they've done for a quarter century. These guys now have been at this for 10 years. They had to change the GM. They got themselves the right GM, obviously, in Bill Zito. And now it's 5 straight years of playoffs. And now you've won the championship. Now the buzz going into next year, you're going to have people that are going to be interested in all the bullshit that the Panthers do on the side, just like we watch the summer freaking league nowadays. I watch it all the time. I watch every game of the summer league. Why? Because I'm intrigued to see what new player they may have that all of a sudden they found another guy they're going to develop. This is going to happen with the Panthers now. They're going to have that draft in the Sphere, and more Panther fans they're not going to know shit about it, but they're just going to ask. They're going to be interested. They're going to be intrigued to find out who they draft. And they probably won't see that kid for a couple of years, but now you're going to get more people just asking about the stinking draft. And the fact that it's in the Sphere, it's actually going to lift, the marketing part of it for the NHL, which is really, really cool, overall. But this is what's going to happen. People are going to be more interested in their preseason games. They've done everything that the Heat did in order to build it the right way and then continue the cycle. And that's what they're doing now. They're just continuing the cycle, and now they got to their peak. Now let's see how and by the way, now that they won it, they become even sexier. And unlike in basketball or football, hockey players will take a little bit of a discount to go to a better place and a better situation. And that's what you've got here. A super likable coach, obviously a GM that knows what the hell he's doing, and owners that will spend. Oh, by the way, you live in South Florida, so you're never freezing your ass off to and from the rink. That's pretty cool. They kind of like that, I think. Some of those guys kind of like that. So there you go. Let's see. What else do we have? By the way, you know what? Okay. So, Sean, sometimes you don't win some things, but you can win other things. And we like to always find out who the Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night is, right? Well, you guys were worried about, oh, wow, McDavid won the Conn Smythe. Screw the Conn Smythe. Who won the Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night?
Who's last night's MVP? For your complete landscape solutions anywhere in South Florida, there's only one MVP. CuttersEdgePro.com. Here's our CuttersEdgePro.com MVP of the night.
All right, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to give it to Bob. Okay? Bob was outstanding overall tonight. The guy did his job. He allowed one goal. One goal, and it was also bad defense that led to that one goal. But Bob has fought through the mental anguish and adversity of never living up to that contract until fractions of it last year, especially in the playoffs. And then this year, he had the season that you were wanting from a $10 million goaltender. And that guy could have easily folded the tent, as we talked about earlier, and he didn't. And he stuck with it, dude. Bob stuck with it, bro. That shit is impressive. He didn't fold. And then he had a Vezina type year. And he was terrific in the playoffs. And I'm not going to take that away from him where he had the 3-game stretch. But then you needed him to be damn good tonight. And he was damn good tonight. And he got it done. So, William Quigley and Mike and all the great people at Cutter's Edge Pro, they do it in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties. They get it done all the time. And landscaping, by the way, increases the value of your home. Remember that. And here's the other thing about landscaping. People don't realize this. It saves you money. You're going to go, how the hell does it save you money? Well, if you surround your house with a lot of trees, you know what? That starts to absorb the heat. If you put a lot of trees in your backyard, all of a sudden you go out there and it's a lot lower temperature for you. And it gets pretty unbearable out there. But if you have a lot of trees, you have some coverage for your backyard. And if you have a lot of trees surrounding your home, you also cool down your home because the trees are absorbing the heat, which then your AC works less. It's a beautiful thing. It's amazing what it'll do. It'll increase the value of your property. You'll look, your house will, your home, your HOA, your office will look better. And then on top of all of that, it's also going to save and create a better atmosphere for you. It's amazing. So check it out. Call the people at Cutter's Edge Pro. Sergei Bobrovsky, our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by CuttersEdgePro.com. Servicing HOAs, condominiums, townhomes, commercial properties, corporate parks, and malls throughout South Florida. CuttersEdgePro.com. Providing South Florida MVP performance every day of the year.
All right. Okay, I got it all back to normal. Oscar Rojas says, good pick for the Cutter's Edge MVP, but my pick is the entire organization, team, and ownership. Great job. Can we go wrong? Can we go wrong if we give it to Paul Maurice? You know what I'm saying? So, Reinhardt, the year he had, there's a lot of Barkov. There's a lot of people that we can definitely give it to, and you are so right. Again, there's a reason why they're champions, and it's because of all those things that you talked about. And that's just absolutely the beauty of all of this, man. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool watching this team. Ooh, there we go. Okay. Watching this team overcome that. Let's see what we got here. Ralph the Ace, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Champs, Big O, thanks for the coverage, man. Jamming to Asia and heat of the moment with some Eagles rare. Cheers. That's a classic. A good one, but a classic. Am I wrong for thinking Panthers would have swept it? Wouldn't have been as great. Maybe I'm just a fool who doesn't know hockey, but I'm even grateful for the scare. Well, I don't know about, bro, I'm 57. I got 5 stents in my heart. I don't know if I'm grateful for the scare, my brother. Okay? I don't know if I'm grateful for the scare. But I will say this. I'm grateful for the championship. I'm grateful for Viola and seafood is what I'm grateful. The sweep, here's the difference with the sweep. We wouldn't appreciate it is what you're saying. We would appreciate the championship, but it came easy to us because they throttled the Lightning. They throttled the Rangers. They throttled the Bruins. And then all of a sudden they swept the Oilers. We would have looked at it as fans and would have said, bro, this is too easy. And you kind of needed some adversity so you can appreciate it a little bit more, which is what you're talking about. It's a twisted thing that you're saying, but there's a lot of truth to what you're saying. Because if you win it in a sweep, then you're celebrating. You're you know how you get cocky Heat fan during the LeBron years? That you just felt like you were unbeatable during that time. You know what I'm saying? You get like that, and all of a sudden we become cocky Panther fan. And, hockey is a very humbling sport. Your goalie could be on his head for 58 minutes, and in 1 minute, he gives up the entire game. You know what I'm saying? And that happens. It's the guy was phenomenal, and he allows the goal in the last minute, and you lose the game. And yet he outplayed him, but that moment he lost it. And hockey will do that shit to you. A rebound, or we saw some ricochets that burned the Panthers in that stretch. You know what I'm saying? So you're right. We're going to appreciate it a little bit more now, is what it is. I would agree with that. Luis, thank you for the entertaining us for all 7 games. Panthers did it and never gave up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brett says, I'm more of a hockey fan, especially the playoffs, but I grew up a Maple Leafs fan since I live close to Toronto. Well, it makes sense, dude. That's like, that the Maple Leafs are like God in Canada. Polly King says, I'm so excited. Never I expected to see another championship in South Florida. Sounds bad, but we've been having a bad luck and bad management. Yeah. But not with the Panthers, not with Inter Miami, not with the Heat. And I think the Dolphins are headed in the right direction. The Marlins are they've got no hope. They don't spend. So they're done. But I think right now, I really like the situation in all the teams locally, except for the Marlins. But I don't have much expectations there. Cash O says, what is special about the Panthers anyway? Nothing. I don't understand how they made 2 straight Cup Finals. Rod NY says this will definitely be more of a memorable championship because the way they were on the verge of choking it away. You're right about that. Let's see. What else do we have? Okay. What's the at TD? What's all that? I don't know what the hell that is. Anyway, so what do we got here on IG? And by the way, thank you all there on Instagram, on Twitter, watching. Those of you obviously here on our platform on YouTube. Appreciate all of you out there, however it is that you support our channel. Don't forget, visit our amazing sponsors. By the way, we are in storm season, so please save the number of Welton Rayom, 954-966-4646, just in case anywhere in Florida you suffer any water damage. Don't deal with the insurance companies. Let Welton Rayom crush them like a Panthers forecheck. 954-966-4646. Sean, it is time, my brother. It is time to wrap it up. We appreciate all of you as always. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow morning as always. We'll talk more about this and we'll have some guests and all kinds of good stuff. We appreciate the support out there. We will see you all tomorrow, 10 a.m., same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a great one.